buzzing for today. We'll wait for
Am I putting him on it, by the way?
ads. Yeah, put him on it, and then where is he? All right, here we go. Yeah, put him on it, and then we can obviously do some stuff in a bit. Mate, this kid, Luke.
I've got it. That was.
Oh, he's got it.
Yeah, I've got it. Cool. I was so nervous there. Oh, yes.
Oh, boys, cheers. We're back. Episode 3.
Wow. Oh, we got on the Guinness tonight.
I'm on the proper stuff tonight, boys.
Lou, what you on tonight, mate?
I've just got some gin and lemonade, mate.
Sophisticated. I like it.
Oh, excited for this one. Yeah, what we'll do, boys. Obviously, he'll be here in a minute. Special guest for tonight, El-Abd. Obviously, I know him, but you boys will be fine with him. You got some questions and that to ask him anyway, so just crack on. But before he gets in, I feel like it's only right to maybe do a wheel spin before we start the poddy.
Yeah, I don't mind participating as long as it's not rigged again. That's absolutely fine.
I reckon. Hold on, Luke. I reckon we put our name on another colour as well, because I think there's 2 of the other colours. Just gives it more of a chance to hit it. Do you know what I mean? I think last week was a proper fluke. I don't think that will happen again. Luke, give it a quick spin now, and if it happens again, then it'll be unbelievable. I mean, you've spent all week doing that, ain't you?
Yeah, you mastered the spin. No, we'll take that.
Yeah, we will take it.
There we go.
Love it, beige.
He's
I reckon. Yeah, he's fuming, right? It's the only gin he's got as well. Oh,
to be fair, it's actually a new bottle. Mum let me open a new bottle the other day.
Ooh.
So he's got the approval of Mum, and he thinks, you know what, let's go on the poddy tonight.
Is that Gordon's gin?
Or is it a Gordon's?
Yeah.
Is it Gorgon's or is it?
Oh no, it isn't.
What is it?
It's
Gorgon's.
I don't know.
Let's have a look.
Just
hold it up, mate. Gin. Oh wow.
Oh mate, that is unreal. I reckon nice little easy starter, Lou. How much have you got in there? Have you not got any in there yet?
No, I haven't poured anything yet.
Just a quick swig of gin, I reckon.
Yeah, well, out of the bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, big man.
Whoa, let's put some hairs on your chin now.
Oh,
no show for work tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Sorry, boys, I feel a bit sick.
Right, boys, before we bring him in, obviously the episode 2 went out today. I really enjoyed recording it last week. It was unreal. I think it was very good, very fun. We had a proper good laugh of it. We've had some good reviews already, and some of the Instagram stuff was going off last night. So hopefully people will watch it, and we will get the listeners' views as the week goes on.
Definitely.
Right, boys, he is in. We'll bring him in, introduce ourselves, and then, Lou, do you want any more lemonade to that?
One can, mate.
Taste away.
Right, boys, we'll bring him in, and we'll get it started. Here he is.
How are we, boys?
All right, mate.
Welcome.
How's it going?
Yeah, all good. How are you?
Yeah, just trying to stay sane.
Yeah. No, you'll
Tough
be all
at
right,
times. Tough at times. How are you, boys? All right?
All good, mate. All good.
Yeah. Good.
Long time, man. Long time.
Oh no,
Mate.
mate.
Are you all still working? You all still doing the Zoom stuff?
Yeah, to be fair, we've been really lucky, mate. We've been able to go back to outside sessions for the past 3 weeks now.
Oh, have you really?
Yeah, so it's been really good. We've been doing some personal training stuff. We've been doing, obviously, the 2 boys in here. We're doing the football sessions with the kids and the adults. So it's been really, really good, mate.
Nice. Okay. Well, just one-to-one stuff?
Yeah. Ads, I don't know if you've met the boys. Obviously, we got Joe at the bottom here. We might be on the top of your screen, and we got Louis. These boys will be referred to by different names throughout the podcast. All right, so we've got Beige, who has worn his mum's jumper tonight, and we've got Marv at the bottom here.
Awful nickname. I'm still not having it, but it seems to have stuck.
Why Marv? Don't tell me it's Home Alone.
Oh
yeah.
Everyone gets it, Joey.
I'm so. Well, you've definitely texted him before this and said when I mentioned Marv, I'd just given it Home Alone. Oh man.
No, look, there is no denying. Ad.
How have you got it up already? Is that your screensaver?
I swear. He didn't text me to say that.
Looks like it's sticking then.
I get new ones every week.
Yeah,
no,
you got Brady. I love Brady.
No one's calling it out. Someone's just, Ads has just guessed mine. Have just said Home Alone straight away.
So, Joe's is Marv. Louis is what?
He's got a few, mate. He's got Beige.
I did give a 10-minute listen to the podcast you sent through to me.
Yeah.
I did grab a couple of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got quite a few. I remember.
Yeah, the poor sod, mate. He does get it. He's just done a shot. He's just done a shot of gin before we've done this.
Oh, got a shot of gin.
Yeah, he's a little bit nervous, to be fair. So he's just got a little bit of courage in him.
So, Ads, firstly, thanks for coming on, mate.
Pleasure.
Welcome to the Behind Closed Doors podcast. I'll send you some questions in the week, mate. We'll run through them. We'll find a little bit more out about Adam El-Abd.
So it'll be a good one, this.
Yeah, we've been looking forward to this, Ads, all week, mate, to be fair. I think Louis been shitting himself a bit. You're probably the scariest guest that we were going to have on.
No pressure. No pressure.
Okay, so we'll kick it off, mate. I've got here, best game you've played in for your club. Or any club. So that can be obviously from the range of clubs that you've been at throughout your career. Best game you've played in?
Difficult one. I thought about this. The best feeling I've had was either the game. It's strange because it was in League Two. 2 games in League Two. Because both times we weren't expected to get promoted, but results went for us on the day, and it went for us, and we ended up getting promoted. So one Wickham, when we beat Chesterfield away, and we went up there thinking that it's going to go down to the last day of the season, but all the results went for us, and there was loads of upsets on the day, and we ended up getting promoted on the last day. And the same at Bury. I think we were 5th going into it, or 4th, and there was 3 teams that could have got clinched 3rd spot, and we were aware we were winning 1-0, and all the results were going our way. It was just, we were getting absolutely bombarded by Tranmere, who were already relegated, and we ended up holding on. Obviously, pitch invasion, promoted. It was like you can't beat those feelings on the last day of the season especially when you weren't expecting it. But then obviously, a feeling walking out. There's been loads of games at the Amex where, like in the FA Cup, where you beat Newcastle at home, or you play Arsenal. It didn't go our way on the day, but in terms of an atmosphere and a spectacle, like you're walking in front of 30,000 people and your hometown club, and you feel like you know half the stadium, like they're like you're playing in front of your mate. Yeah. Great feeling. You can't beat those days. Those days are like look back and like I wish I could teleport back, because at the best time ever, like playing for Brighton, living at home, playing under a manager that played brilliant football. And when we played against these big teams, we didn't just bank up and defend. We went out and played football. We played from the back. We made the pitch big, so we left ourselves open to get a hammering, And a couple of times at the Amex, we had some really, really good days in the FA Cup, which I'd say equally as good feeling as getting promoted, winning an FA Cup side.
Just quickly on the Bury one, obviously they're almost no more now, aren't they? Was there any hint of that when you were there? Obviously, the whole thing about going up,
Yeah.
it might have just been sort of missed. But was there, like, you know, like they have now, if they've gone under and whatever,
Yeah.
did you ever sense it would ever do that?
Yeah.
What
They
happened?
were. Yeah, they were. I mean, they were overspending dramatically. Like they had fans, 3,000 fan base that they get every week, and they were spending money like they had a 15,000 fan base. But you know, they were taking loans out to. They took a loan out on the stadium for £1 million.
Yeah,
and the next day went and signed 4 players. So I'm guessing those 4 players are on £5,000 a week. Do you know what I mean? If you're doing the math.
Yeah.
So for players in League Two to be earning that kind of money, it's too much. It's disproportionate to the level, you know. When you consider an average wage in League Two's probably about £70,000 a year, so £1,500, £1,400 a week, you know. So they were overspending, but and then as well on top of that, there was a lot of times where the wages were being paid late for the boys. I mean, I was on loan, so I didn't have sign there. Okay. So I was Bristol City's player, but the boys were coming in saying they'd been paid late. And when I first went there, we were at the Berries training ground, which was basically like. Is this after the watershed or before?
I'll go for it.
Basically, like dog shit park. Basically, pitch was on a slope. You're playing the circle and you're minding the dog shit. Basically, no banter. It was literally. And then we started to win a few games, and next thing you know, we've been moved into Carrington, which is Man City's old training ground. Yeah. And they're paying an absolute fortune to rent that off them, and they've taken a 5-year. They took a 5-year lease or 5-year agreement. And they were paying a fortune, you know, for a League Two club to be playing that. We were walking into Man City's old training ground, and it's like bowling green, pop-up sprinklers everywhere, and you know, thinking, where's the money coming from? You know, it didn't add up.
It's a shame, really, because you hate to see clubs go under, especially you know, because it was all over Sky Sports News and things like that. It's just not nice to see. So it's interesting.
They gambled, Chewy. They gambled. I mean, we went up that year. And they tried to have a go again. Basically, they thought if we get into the Championship, this is sustainable because the money we can pay off all the debts. And so they gambled, I think, for 3 years or 2 years in League One. The year in League Two, it was kind of the remit for the manager was you have to get promoted or you're going to get a sack. As it happened, we got promoted, and then it was like, right, you've got 3 years to get into the Championship, and if we don't, if the shit hits the fan, basically. They can't sustain it because they've gambled on getting into the Championship. They went and signed big players again. I think Jermaine Beckford, Leon Clark, off the top of my head. You know, I think Jermaine Beckford and Leon Clark were on £6,000 a week. You know, 2 strikers. They've given that in League One. It's disproportionate for a fan base of 3,000. Yeah, 3,000. It doesn't add up. So they were gambling. And actually, the first season in League One, they started off flying and we're top of the table. You know, with probably 10 games gone, and then they hit the wall. And I think they almost got relegated. Anyway, it's a shame. It is a shame, but you could see it happening. Football clubs shouldn't gamble like that, you know.
Yeah. Going back to when you were talking about games where you're going to get promoted and things like that. Do you know when you're playing? Like what's going on in other games? Like, is someone telling you, like, do you know what's going on when you're playing, or do you just kind of do the business that's in front of you kind of thing?
No, do you know what? You can't help when it's that tense and it's gone down to the last day. It happened to me twice, where you can't help but feel it. You can't help but feel it. We knew. I mean, well, I'll go with each case. With the Bury case, we knew that if we won and Southend got beat, we leapfrogged them and get promoted. Within 10 minutes of the game, our fans are jumping up and down, like going nuts. Yeah. And we're thinking, and as it happened, they were 3-0 down at half time. But our game was 0-0 and we were getting battered, and we performed so badly. I mean, literally, it was like we couldn't string 5 passes together. It was like, we got in at half time and the manager was like, look, just try and stay calm, but they're losing 3-0. So if we win today, we're promoted.
Yeah.
And then literally, I mean, we're playing Tranmere, who are already relegated. They had nothing to play for.
Yeah.
The ball would go, they were playing at home, but the ball would go out, and they were running to get the ball to throw it back on, just desperate to try and ruin our day.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we were terrible. I mean, we couldn't string 5 passes all day. So we were so edgy. And
Yeah.
obviously, the energy from the crowd, you know, got to us. And but anyway, thankfully, we scored a scrappy goal and held on to win 1-0.
Yeah.
And then exactly the same thing at Wickham. But the fans start jumping up and down, so you sense that it's going your way. But it makes you edgy. It does. And,
yeah.
you know, not easy. But yeah, it's that's why I love football. Days like that, you know, like
of course.
the emotion. Do you know when the whistle goes and you've achieved something, you know, that you set out to achieve, and the emotion that goes through you can't describe. Like, you feel like both times I felt like I was running but floating through the air. Do you know what I mean? It was like, it's almost like an out of body experience. Like the whistle's gone, everyone's running on the pitch, and my body's like like a butt in the clouds. Couldn't describe it.
No, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Nice one, Ads. Next one I've got here. I've got best game you've played in, but it can be best moment as well for your country. Now, you're obviously very, very privileged to be in that position and to have been in that position, just to be in and around it for your national team. What was that feeling like?
It was I'll be honest, it was looking back at it, it was an incredible experience, and I loved the football. Loved it. I found the downtime tough because there was a lot of time in hotel rooms where I was basically by myself, because obviously I couldn't speak Arabic. My Arabic was broken, so I was asking for things, and some of the lads would make an effort with me and try and speak English with me, but it was tough, you know. But football is universal language. So when I was on the pitch, I was free. I was running around for 2 hours a day and enjoying, and the camps were good for 2 hours a day. So the other 22 hours, you're sleeping for 8 or 9 of them, and then it's not easy because you're in the hotel room a lot, you know.
Yeah.
But I played with some great players. The standard was that one thing that's hit me in the face when I went out there, joining training, and there's some players there that none of us have even heard of.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the time, you hadn't heard of all the Egyptians that have come over and had success over here now. But I hadn't even heard of these boys, and they were like, I was going back to the boys at Brighton saying, the standard's bloody good, you know. Like the boys don't give the ball away. You give the ball away to people, and you're spending, you know, a long time trying to run around in a 50-degree heat, try and get it back, and they hurt you. You know, it was a lesson, and some really good experiences. Played with some good players, met some good people, and it was an honour. It was an honour. It definitely was an honour. It was great. It was probably one of the highlights of my career to obviously represent Egypt. I was a little bit gutted that I didn't get to represent them in a tournament, because that would have been something incredible. And also, when I was representing them, there was a lot. There was a, what's the word? There was the uprising, basically. So they were basically overturning the government and the
it was quite political and things like that.
It was very political. So there was a lockdown in the streets, the army patrolling the streets and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. And so there was no football. The league had been cancelled.
Oh, wow.
So we had to play behind closed doors. We had to play...
it's the second week in a row, that is, as that the podcast has been dropped.
What's that?
Behind closed doors, yeah.
Oh, yeah, behind closed doors, yeah. There you go. Yeah. No, but I played. So we had to play a lot of games abroad. I played. We went to one camp, which was 2 weeks in Sudan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that is in the heart of Africa. We played Togo and Cameroon, and I made my debut out there after a 10-day camp in, I think, a week camp in Sudan, where it was basically 50 degrees all the day and night, 50 degrees, or it felt like it was anyway. And we had to be escorted to the training, every training, by 4 military trucks with like snipers, and I'm in the coach thinking, What on earth? What on earth is going on?
Yeah.
Is this real? Like, you're thinking, is this necessary? And they assured me it was. So, but the football's great.
Yeah,
Football's great, and
Now, you can never get no one can take that away from you, Ads. You've played and represented obviously a country which is, on paper is the highest accolade you can get in football, isn't it? So
Yeah.
really good.
it was a massive honour and something I am proud of. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it was a privilege and honour, and I'm very proud.
Yeah. That brings me nicely to the next one. Best manager you've played under?
I'm gonna say the best coach I've ever played under is I'm gonna say is Dean Walkins, who was my youth team manager and my Brighton manager. Would have had amazing success if he'd have been given more of a chance at Brighton as a first team manager. In his first year, I think we finished 7th, just outside the playoffs, and we had no budget. So we had a team basically full of homegrown lads, that were on peanuts compared to previous budgets with previous managers have spent. But the best manager and all round, I'm going to say obviously Gus Poyet. I played my best football under him. I think the club probably hasn't seen as good a style or as entertaining football as that period of time. He was a inspirational person. He was inspirational. When he spoke, you listen. He demanded high standards. He set high standards. And he got us playing. I think he turned average players into good players and good players into exceptional players. And he brought the best out in not just me. I think he brought the best out in so many. And it was great to play with. It was a pleasure to play in that team. That's the word. It was. You walk off the pitch sometimes, and you feel like the other team couldn't get near you. You play from the back every time the goalkeeper gets the ball.
Yeah.
Make the pitch big, and how he set his training sessions up, you'd feel so comfortable on the ball because in the week you're having thousands of touches of it.
Yeah.
It would always be about the football, and every session would have an element of technique in it. And you walk off the pitch having touched the ball a lot, even if it's just little keep balls, big keep balls, even if it's a fitness drill. A lot of the time you've had a lot of touches of the ball because it incorporates it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, that's good. Okay, this one a bit more light-hearted. Worst trainer, and this can obviously be from all any clubs that you've played at. Anyone that
Sammy's got to get a mention here, surely.
Yeah,
Who?
Sammy, your brother, he's got to go in there, surely.
He'll hate that.
You know what? I've never played with him.
Oh, have you not? That's lucky.
I would love to play with him. I'd love to. I've never have done. I never. He by his own admission would say, "Oh, I'm not the best in training." He sometimes, he says he's not great in training, but I've never trained with him, so I've never played with him.
To be fair, no. Sammy was obviously my coach at City College for I think what was it? Two years.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, for me it was only a year. I think.
Yeah, so 2 years for me, but he taught me the dark arts, which was great. Sammy had loads of little things that I'd never heard of or seen before, but Sammy was,
including that phone case. Yeah, do you remember that, Joey? I think you still got that phone case. Do you remember?
Oh God, yeah. What was it? Was like a Bible, wasn't it? Massive.
I think he took that one off me. I've got that one.
Yeah. Honestly, you knew if he dropped his phone because you'd hear it. No, he was quality, Sammy.
Yeah.
He knows his stuff. To be fair, he's good. So, were you with him as well, Shuey? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was my first year. It was Joey's last year at college. He was the footy coach with Jude. It was so funny, mate. Yeah. So Ads, worst trainer in
It's a difficult one because worst trainer. Do you know what? Who am I thinking of here? There hasn't been many,
Yeah.
There hasn't been many really consistently bad trainers.
Would you say?
What?
Would you say the lower you go in terms of the football pyramid, do you think
Yes.
the players maybe get lazier, or do you think they
No.
want it a little bit more?
I think they want it more. I think that the lower you go, the harder people take training.
Yeah.
The intensity in training goes up the lower you go.
Okay.
The higher up you go, the intensity in training is very much easy-ozy.
Yeah.
It's like, it's that's how I found it. It's a difficult one to say worst training. There's been a few, but consistently, I mean, one that springs to mind. I'll say it because he's my mate. He's my mate, right? And I spend a lot of time with him. And I love him. I love him to bits. And he was an unbelievable player. Scored so many goals, and always turned it on. He'd always run and fight and turn it on a match day. He'd be flying. He'd have so much energy. But in training, he would be sometimes like not just go through the motions, but he wasn't there. But he'd turn it on the match day. So Craig McHale-Smith.
Oh yeah.
He's my mate. He's my pal. I spend a lot of time with Craig, and he was unbelievable on a match day. He was a great striker, but he's had a great career. But just he often saved himself for the Saturday, which was what it's all about. And maybe he was onto something really, because there's no point in being a training ground international.
Yeah.
You get paid to play football on Saturday. So he was doing what it took to get him right for a Saturday. And if that meant he conserved his energy and didn't run around so much because he wanted to run around on Saturday, then he had it off. It worked for him. But then there weren't many. I mean, he wasn't a bad trainer. He still was the ultimate professional. Do you know what I mean? He was like still ate right, slept right, never drinks or very rarely drinks, trained hard in the gym, but just he wouldn't go out into a session and think it's the World Cup final, which some do. Do you know what I mean? Some don't know how to take it easy in training, but he did. He knew how to take it easy. He could have Other than that, there wasn't many. Glenn Murray was a bit similar. Glenn Murray would conserve himself and kind of sometimes in training not run around like you'd expect. But no standout. Obviously, he was an unbelievable player. What a player he is,
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That brings me nicely onto beige. However, I'm going to try and find this thing because this is what he looks like today. I'm going to call him Barney today. Does anyone know why? Do you know why, Lou?
Barney?
Yeah.
What, the dinosaur?
Horrific jumper.
To be fair, I'm actually surprised you haven't mentioned the fact that I'm wearing 2 rings tonight, not one.
Ads. I don't know if you saw it in the first episode, right? We got Beige here, who thought it'd be cool to wear a ring, right? I'm
going to open a beer if we're going to talk about his rings again.
He bought a ring especially for the podcast
for tonight.
What to mark the opening of the
yeah, apparently so. Yeah, to mark a new journey that we got going on. He thought he'd buy a 2-for-1 ring, so he's wearing his second one tonight. Let's have a look, Lou. Give us a little wave. Oh my day! On his thumb as well.
Pardon?
On his thumb as well. How big time is that?
Honestly, I think episode 4 you'll see a 4th ring. 5, honestly.
Yeah, mate. I've actually got quite a few. I've got a few more that I could wear.
I think 2 is enough, to be fair.
Yeah, fucking hell. Oh, love it.
My first one is, who is the craziest teammate that you've played with?
There have been a few.
We love this question.
Yeah, it's my favourite question.
The craziest teammate?
Yeah.
There's been a few. I went to Gillingham on loan for 3 months or 4 months when I was at Bristol City. Justin Edinburgh was in charge. Team was going really well. God bless Justin Edinburgh, by the way. He's obviously passed away. So I had the pleasure of meeting a teammate called Bradley Dack.
At Blackburn.
Yeah, he's at Blackburn now. Yeah,
he goes out with that. He goes out with that Olivia thingy, doesn't he? From Towie?
He does. Yeah. One of the craziest
Shock,
bastards.
you know.
One of the craziest bastards you've ever met. And really unbelievable player. Would come in a lot of the time half cut. Always like king of the banter. Like, you know, I walked in. I think it was on my second or third day there, and he was naked in the dressing room, squatting over a shoe, having a poo in the middle of the dressing room in someone's shoe.
That's exactly what we need. That is exactly what we need.
What is going on here? How is this? What's going on here?
It weren't your shoe, was it, Az?
It wasn't my shoe, no. It wasn't my initiation, no. So yeah,
that's unbelievable.
He's one of them, but there's been loads. There's been many. There has been many. To think of one off the top of my head is difficult. But especially nowadays as well, where footballers. I mean, a lot of footballers are becoming so much like clones, where everyone's so professional. Not many go out and have a drink anymore. Do you know what I mean? They don't really. When I was in the Wickham dressing room, half the team didn't touch alcohol. You know.
Really?
Yeah, and they were, you know, half the team don't touch alcohol and are vegan.
Yeah.
But fair play to them. But it's not how it was when I was growing up. When I was 19, 20 coming through, like there was the Saturday night club, the Sunday club, the Tuesday club, and you know, so it's 3 times a week where the boys would get together and drink. Like,
do you not prefer that though? That
not
side
just drink,
of it?
not just drink, heavily drink. I mean, it's, you know, end each night blind and not have memory blackout from what happened. I wake up going, oh my God, who have I offended? What have I done?
You've seen both sides of it in terms of you were just saying there, the boys that are kind of healthy and vegans, and then you've seen the side to it where, you know, you are social and you are going out. Like, what's your kind of, what do you prefer as a player? Because it's hard, isn't it? Because you've got to apply yourself for a whole year. And
yeah,
when you get an opportunity.
For me, listen, I love a drink more than anyone, but nowadays the boys are much fitter, you know. So nowadays I think that it's great to get the boys together and have a drink every now and again, but to be going out 3 times a week is impossible.
Yeah.
To ever perform, you know, to be going out once a week,
it's tough.
It's tough to perform. It's tough to perform if you're going out for a heavy one every Saturday night after a game. You're not going to train that week like you would do if you hadn't done. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's going to affect your training. So to perform at your peak, you might get away with it 1 week, a month, maybe once every 3 weeks. You know, you go out and have a big one. If you're going out once a week, it's probably too much. But it's important, I think, for team spirit. You've got to have a drink together. It'll be. Yeah. If I ever go to the other side and become a coach or manager, I would try and encourage that, especially, you know, one night out in pre-season where everyone has to attend, and I want everyone to have let their hair down, don't worry about football, have a drink, last man standing at the bar, and then once every month, once every 6 weeks, trying to arrange something. It doesn't always have to be where everyone's getting legless, but I think it's important. It's important,
isn't it? Yeah.
You become more like a family then. You know, it's important for some people that struggle to let their hair down and be vocal and kind of express themselves. If they've had a few drinks, they don't mind.
Definitely.
It's getting together in a different environment as well. It's getting together outside of the football, and it's important. I think it's important.
Yeah.
Lou, just before your next question, I think that brings us nicely to the wheel. Just before we end part 1, and we'll come back to it. Seeing as we're talking about having a few drinks, I don't know if you've seen this.
Ads, what are you drinking, by the way?
This is a flavoured gin, so it's not that strong, but it's
perfect. That's all right.
Yeah.
Well, for the wheel.
How it works, Ads, is we usually get our guests to give us a forfeit, obviously to do with the drinks or whatever. Have we all got a decent drink, lads? Joe, have you got a new one as well?
Yeah, I'm just filling it up as we speak because I know it's going to land on me anyway, so I might as well just fill it up.
Right, Beige, spin that wheel, boy.
Beige.
Come on, Beige, it's a big one, mate.
Oh, please land on ads.
Love
me?
that.
That's got to be in it, Joey. That's ads.
Yeah, that is 100%.
What do you mean it's ads?
100%.
Bring it forward. Bring it forward to me.
I don't. Oh, he turned it now.
Don't give it
That's
to me.
green.
No, that's on.
That's red. That's red.
That was green.
Oh, wow. Right, I think this needs to be a vote. If we're saying yes to ads, raise your drink, that he's got a down. Well, actually, it's ads is forfeit, so we'll pick it for him. If not, if we don't get enough votes, we'll spin again. If we spin again though, and it lands on ads, you got to do double drink ads.
I think ads should just see it off. To be fair, I think.
Yeah, he's got his big reputation, hasn't he, Joe? And he can't do it.
Yeah.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers,
Cheers.
boys.
It's the poddy. Yeah, it's the podcast.
Yeah,
Cheers
to the body.
Love it, ads.
Love that. There we go.
Superb effort, by the way.
Yeah.
Well done, Beige, by the way. Good spin.
Cheers, mate.
Right,
boys.
Boys, I'll end part 1 and then we'll come back in for part 2.
Sounds good.
Love it. See you in a bit, boys.
Yeah, it's that.
Right, love it. Beige, carry on, mate.
Next one I've got here is, what was your biggest what if moment?
What if he didn't grow his hair? What would he look like?
Yeah. And Uncle Fester lookalike. What if? There's been a few. Do you know what I mean? Throughout a career, I think that what if we beat Crystal Palace in the playoff semi-final and got promoted? I triggered a 2-year extension at Brighton.
Yeah.
By the amount of games I played, so I had a guaranteed 2-year deal, and we had Palace in the playoffs, and Wilfried Zaha turned up, and the rest is history. Palace went up. We went home crying into our pillow. If we'd got promoted, it would have been 2-year Premier League contract. Would have been life-changing money. So there was that one. There was the Egyptian. So I played 6 games for my country. Each one was progressively I got better and better, and it was going really well. World Cup qualifying debut, play against Uganda in Egypt, in Sharm el-Sheikh, in a stadium that basically wasn't fit for purpose. It was basically playing on Whitehawk's pitch. International game on Whitehawk's pitch, and one of the 10 minutes into the game, made a steady start. Ball comes in. I go to clear it up the pitch. Ball hits a Tim Flowers divot. Do you remember when Tim Flowers?
Yeah.
Someone shot from about 30 yards. It hit the divot on the penalty spot, bounced over his shoulder.
Who hit the shot? Was it?
Do you remember
Paul
it?
Ince? Was it Paul Ince? Yeah, I've seen it.
I'm not sure, but I remember it's like on the bloopers, isn't it? Where the ball just pops up and goes over his shoulder.
Do you know what? I'm going to go Paul Ince. Sure, we'll have to check it, but I think it's Paul Ince because it was definitely for Liverpool, I think.
Beige was still in the womb at that point, I think.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, you wouldn't know. It was a long time ago. Boys, you might not even remember it. I mean, true.
No, I've just seen it.
Yeah, no, I would have been young, I think.
Google it now. Just while we're on, have a little look.
I'll have a little look.
It's horrendous. I mean, it literally he was going straight at him. He's doing the long barrier, so like just about to gather it in, and it hops up and bounces over his shoulder.
Oh, it's quite a few. We'll keep going, and I'll have a look, and then I'll put it up to the screen.
Yeah. So basically, we won the game 4-2, but it didn't go. It wasn't really a great game for me, and that set the tone. There was no. The ball came in. I've gone to clear it up the pitch. It's hit a divot. Like a mole's jumped out of the pitch, made it pop up, hit my knee, and gone in the bottom corner. And for the rest of the game, I'm scratching my head, thinking, how was that? Like Collymore. There you go. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me just
stand the man.
Stand the man. Here we go.
Oh, I have seen this actually. Yeah.
There we go.
See it?
Oh.
He couldn't even believe it when he shot it. Like
No,
It was like that anyway. It was like that. It was. I've gone to clear up the pitch. It's hit my knee, gone in the bottom corner, and basically that was my international career. I think I had an injury the next call up. I didn't get selected after that, and then we won the game, but we missed. The next game was the qualifier for the African Cup. No, sorry, World Cup qualifying. When we got to the playoffs, and I was injured for the playoffs, so I didn't get called up, and then we lost the playoffs. So.
He's been called up. I know he's back.
Sorry, I just had a call. Someone called me. I've just declined it quickly. Sorry.
It wasn't Egypt, was it?
Pardon? Yeah. There's two. I mean, there's been many what if moments. I mean, what if? Yeah, there's been many. I mean,
yeah. That was the biggest one.
Out. The biggest one, I think, that the playoffs. We cruised to promotion in League One. Had a really good year in the Championship, and if we'd have got promoted, it would have been a 2-year contract in the Premier League. How that would have worked out, you never know. I mean, it would have been a chance to be a Premier League footballer. Well, unfortunately, I never had that chance. But I'm sure there have been many that have had far more talent than me that have never even played in the Championship. So I'm grateful for what I achieved and what my career went.
Right, next one I've got. Who is the best player you've played against?
You don't have to say me in training.
Difficult. Played against. There's been a few, to be fair. When I was playing for Egypt, one of the games I played in. One of the memories that I had played at Atletico Madrid Stadium, the old one, and in my team was Mo Salah, Neni, Higazi, Abu Traika, Hossam Ghali, you never even know. But in the other team there was Sanchez and Vidal.
Wow!
But they had players there as well that loads of players that you barely even heard of, and they were zinging the ball around with immaculate technique.
Yeah.
And then when it came to me, I was doing the old English avit. Do you know what I mean? Avit. Sticking it in the channel and making Mo run after it, and he thinks, not used to that. Not used to play. No, it's So I'd say Vidal ran the show that day. Best player, Vicente Rodriguez in training every day whenever he was fit, he was unbelievable. There's been a few played against Tevez when he was at West Ham.
Wow. That would have been quite good actually, because you two would have been direct opponents, wouldn't you?
Well, actually, I played midfield that day, but he was still unbelievable.
Yeah.
But yeah, Adam Lallana was a top player when he played for Southampton. You could always tell he was on a different level to everyone else. The Southampton team back then, Brighton beat Southampton for the league in League One, and they had Lambert, Lallana, Morgan Schneidlin, Oxlade Chamberlain, Mikel Antonio. Do you know what I mean? They're good players, So, but yeah,
good.
Yeah.
No, it's brilliant, especially Vidal, because obviously he's gone on to the world stage. Do you know what I mean? With Barcelona and
that Mo Salah weren't bad either. To be fair, he's not.
Nice. I think Joey, that brings us onto your question. It is Jesus tonight. I love. By the way, Joey, just before we move on, I love the look tonight, man.
Do you know what? I did put a bit of effort in tonight. There's a bit of loose going on. I had a hairdresser
come down. You were battering in a previous podcast that he thought he'd make an effort to put a shirt on tonight.
Yeah. No, to be fair, I thought we were all going beige tonight. I didn't want old Tom Brady down the bottom to feel a little bit.
No, I'm Barney. Barney's dressed up tonight. Bless him. Got his fancy dress.
So, Ads, I've got here. My first question is, and I don't know how many you've scored, but the best goal you've scored.
Easy. There hasn't been many starters. He's got a nosebleed if across the halfway line, but the one at Shrewsbury was the best by far, I think.
Talk us through it.
We had a wide free kick, got slung in, they headed it clear. Came to our guy on the halfway line, who's put another ball in to Ivan Toney, actually. He's chested it down about 30 yards on the half volley. I've just closed my eyes and hit it clean. Like, it was like perfect. You know, as soon as you know you've hit something, it was like
just know
perfect,
where it's going.
like 30 yards. It flew into the top bin, and I was like, surprised myself. I was like, has that just happened? Or like, have I just done that?
What was the celebration?
In shock. I was in shock because usually I clear the stand, more like a clearance, you know. But no, it went in. You know, I was like, wow. I could probably hit 100 of them, and 99 would have gone in rose head or over the stand, and it just that day was struck it clean, perfect. You know.
I'll have to try and find that one.
Wait there, I've got it for you. I haven't.
Just turns the camera, it's on his TV already, just presses play.
There you go. That was done, lad. That was done. No,
so,
I haven't.
Yeah, go on, sorry.
No, it is on there somewhere, YouTube or something.
Yeah. So you can
look it up if you want. I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna. I'll let you know if I think it was a cross or a clearance or something like that. So you've talked about, obviously, you've played, you know, of the highest of international, and you've played for, you know, Brighton, you know, countless amounts of time and things like that. So now you're in non-league. What is life like in non-league? How's it been for you?
Tough. I mean, to be honest, there's a lot of good players in non-league, and like you go down, you think it's going to be easy, and it's not. You know, players try just as hard, if not harder. I think training twice a week makes it tougher because you've got less time to prepare for a game. It's, you know, and also I think that it's tough that the standard is varied in terms of the standards from one week to the next is varied, but also in the team there are some players where you scratch your head and you think he should be a professional footballer. You don't understand why he's not made as a pro. You know, at Whitehawk, I'd say 4 or 5 that you say that you don't understand why they've not been given the chance to be a pro, because they have everything it takes. You know, other than one man's opinion, which so it surprised me. It's not easy. Obviously, the pitches you play on are difficult. A lot of the time are difficult. When you play on nice pitches, it's easy. The ball comes to your foot, and you don't have to look whether you've already got your head up to see the next pass. When you're playing on a pitch where it's bobbling, you've got to watch it right onto your foot. And by the time you've watched it to take your first touch, you get your head up and you get clattered. You know?
Yeah.
But it's an experience. It's, you know, I honestly found football harder the lower down. I found the Championship easier than League One. League One easier than League Two. League Two was brutal. I mean, I got my nose broken a few times. Got opened up, cuts everywhere, broke nose splattered across my face. Physical, you know, very, very physical. And non-league's not easy as well. You know, it's difficult. Yeah.
Do you find that because, you know, you've been and done it, and you're a well-known player, do you think players feel like, right, I'm playing against, you know, Adam El-Abd tonight? Do you think they step it up, or even in training, the boys think, yeah, I'm going to get one over on him and things like that?
Maybe. I don't think they have that attitude really. Like, but sometimes I've struggled for motivation. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I think, Jesus, like you. But I do. I love football, and when, you know, on days when you're playing against who did we play? There was a couple of games where, you know, where it wasn't a great game. It was difficult to motivate before the game. I'm in the dressing room thinking, oh, no, I'm not sure whether it's time to retire or not, because I've got no motivation to play. And then other times when the pitch is good and the boys are up for it, and like you popping the ball around, you think, I love it. I'm not ready to retire. I love it too much. You know? But there are more of those. the days I previously mentioned
Yeah.
where you're struggling to get up for it in non-league. But it's all part and parcel of it. I love football. I do love it. It's a great way to I love competing. I love the buzz of finishing a game when the whistle goes and you're giving everything and on your way. You know, if you have a good day, there's no better feeling.
Yeah.
And I miss it. I miss it. I really, really miss it. Now, I was actually only telling my girlfriend earlier today, like, how much I miss playing football. Like, obviously we're in a lockdown, we can't. And even if it is just for Whitehall, I miss it.
Yeah.
You know?
Just football in general, innit? Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned about motivation. I've just got to ask one thing. Harry said he's only ever seen it once, that you bring a cheese board or something around your neck.
Wait there. Hey, look at this.
Is it here? Don't tell me it's here.
Hey, look at
There we go.
Like I've been prepped for tonight.
Yeah, he's got the Shrewsbury goal.
I've been prepped. We're calling you Marv.
The Shrewsbury goal's definitely on your telly behind you, and the cheese board.
Yeah.
A bit of brie just fell off as well, lads.
The cheese board comes. Like, honestly, right? It's a bit of banter. Right, so, don't know whether you read about the famous Shrewsbury Christmas do, but it turned a bit sour for all the wrong reasons. But it was fancy dress in Dublin, and one of the boys, Jimmy O'Brien, legend of a guy, proper good banter, Irish boy, decided to go dressed up as me. So he basically he got one of the boards made up. So that was his shoe. So he was going round. He put full shin pads on with an El-Abd kit. But then, do you know what? Because I had a skinhead at the time. He put a mask. You know the Thing from is it The Incredibles or Fantastic Four? The Thing, the bald head. With all the
The Thing.
With all the cracks over the face.
Yeah.
You know what, Chewy?
Yeah,
I know.
About? Yeah.
Chewy, do you know the Thing?
No, mate. No, I don't.
God, sorry, ads.
Fucking hell, beige.
What, yeah. You
Just
don't
say,
even know, Beige. Beige, you don't know either. You just go, yeah. You've got no idea, have you? None of you got any idea.
No, I do. He's the big one.
Yeah. So Jimmy walked around the whole of Dublin with my board on his foot, and the Thing mask and an El-Abd kit. So
quality.
I did get a stick to the board.
Does that go everywhere you go then? The board.
Yeah.
Where's it come from? Where, like, what is it?
Okay, so basically a foot specialist, when I broke my foot when I was at Brighton, basically said it's down to lack of mobility. So keep your foot mobilised and it won't happen again. So I'm paranoid about breaking my foot again because I was out for 7 months. And I was like, right, I'm not going to go running or do anything unless I've mobilised my ankle. Because if I break it, it'll be like, and I haven't done it, it'll be, I won't, I don't want to spend 5 months in a cast again just because of that, So there's the board, and as prompted, the board was right next to me.
The reason why I said it is, I think it was first or maybe second session of pre-season at Whitehawk. Me and you never met before, and I think I was early. I was early from work, so I got in the dressing room. And all I can hear is grunting, and like no one was at the ground. So I'm like, who the fuck is this in the dressing room going like like this? And I'm coming there. I come round the corner, ads, and I've just seen this big brute of a guy with this thing round his neck, which I thought at the time was like a for sale sign, like the house one. I thought, what is this guy doing? He's got his duct tape, doing his neck weights, and then he's gone, all right. No, I swear to you.
Oh, no.
He's lying. I wasn't doing that.
I don't believe it.
Hey, right, Ad, show us that thing. That's got a neck. It's got a noose. Let's have a look at it.
Oh, there's that Shrewsbury goal, I think, recorded.
Look.
That is quality. Has it been the same one? Has it been the same one throughout all the...
I've had a couple, but to be fair, he's saying that this is my neck brace here. Yeah. I see what he's saying.
Yeah.
This is a whiteboard, I think he's got.
Yeah, my cheese board.
Start selling them, ads.
Yeah.
So just finally, we touched on it. Well, you mentioned it. Kind of what's next for Adam El-Abd? Is it going down the coaching route? Obviously, you're loving playing at the moment. or when things go back to normal, obviously you'll be playing, which is great. We need players like you around for sure. But what's next, do you think, when the time comes?
What's next? Listen, look, I love playing football, but unfortunately, life as a footballer is coming to an end. I know that. It's either, Ned's given me a contract at Whitehawk, which I'm very grateful for. So I'll play as long as I can, but realistically, maybe one more season, if that. It might be a case of it at the end of this lockdown. It might be if a door opens that I'll choose to walk through, then I would be a fool to not walk through it, because my playing days are limited. So I need to think of something the future career. So whether that's coaching, I am qualified, so I'd love to go down that route.
Yeah.
But whether that's coaching or whether that's qualified to be a PT, so personal training, something along those lines.
Yeah.
But I'll be totally honest with you, it frightens the life out of me. I'm in a position now where I've devoted my whole life to football, and football's coming to an end. And it's like I was only this morning. I said to Nina, my girlfriend, I said, I miss it. And I'm still.
It's all you've ever known, really, isn't it?
It's all I've ever known, and I'm still finding myself. Like, it's a bit sad, really. I'm going down to the pitches now and running around, like just because I like keeping fit. I'm a bit of a fitness freak. If I did never play football anyway, I'd still be going to the gym and running. But I'm going down to the pitches and I'm running. I'm doing old drills that I used to do when I used to play, like fitness drills. I'm thinking, why am I still doing this? Why don't I just go around? Why don't I just run around the tree? Why am I going to the pitch? Why am I going to the pitch and doing box to boxes and laps of the pitch and stuff? It's bizarre. I miss it. And it's going to take time to accept. It's going to take time to accept in my head that I'm not a footballer anymore. And it's scary. And it's not easy. I'll tell you now, it's not easy. It's difficult.
Yeah.
But what's next? Hopefully coaching. I'd love to stay in football. I'd love to. That's football's my passion. It's been my passion since I was a boy, and I'd love to be able to give me the opportunity to have a go at it and pass on my knowledge to the next generation. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there's a job going at Soccer Fix. If you want to join us, boys, we'll happily take you.
Hey, who knows? Maybe today.
You can have all the little meatheads.
I thought you'd never ask. You never ask. You got the hint. You got the hint.
Yeah. Just hand your CV into Beige and he'll go through it.
Brilliant.
Listen, Ads, it's been a pleasure having you on, mate. Thank you, obviously, for accepting it and getting involved. Every week before we finish, we do get Beige to down his drink, which
I finished it, mate.
Oh, right, Jesus! Have you got any more with you? You got any more with you? Luke?
Yeah, no, I've got the rest of the bottle.
All right, Ads. You are our guest. You pick what he drinks, so you can pick for him to finish the whole bottle, which I think me and Joey would like to see.
Whole bottle.
Just the whole bottle, but I'll die.
Just have a quick shot, I reckon. Beige.
Yeah.
Just put the shot in the glass or out of this bottle?
Yeah, go on. Just a shot of gin. Anyone that's shot in gin needs their head checked anyway. You shot in gin. Oh, mate. Honestly. Yeah. Give it a go. Go on. Well,
love it. Boys, let's say we'll cheers at the same time. Oh, go on then.
Gin.
Oh.
Good lad.
Thank you, Ads, for doing this.
Yeah, Ads,
really appreciate it, mate.
Good lad. Absolute pleasure, boys. Pleasure.
Thanks, Ads. Take care of yourself, mate.
Good to see you again. Take it easy.
Cheers, bud.
See ya.